To my parents, Adam and Jane, and my extended family, thank you for everything. And finally, to my wife, our new First Lady, and our great kids, Sam, Adam, and Leah. I love you, and thank God for you all each and every day. You bring Anna and me such joy. I am speaking to you this morning from the North Carolina State Capitol, our state's second state capitol. North Carolina's first state house here burned to the ground in a calamitous construction accident nearly 200 years ago. Even while the flames were raging, it quickly became clear who we are as North Carolinians. Quick-thinking bystanders rushed into the building to save most of the official archives and the portrait of George Washington that still hangs in this House chamber to this day. The churches that surround the Capitol immediately offered their buildings to the General Assembly to use. And within a decade, from those ashes, North Carolinians had raised this mighty structure built of stone quarried from our soil. Tragedy is not new to our state, but neither is goodness. Neither is resilience. 85 years after that fire in 1916, a terrible storm brought record rainfall and torrential floods to western North Carolina. In Morganton, the Catawba River rose rapidly, trapping Mr. J.L. Duckworth on the roof of his store. Onlookers quickly raised thousands of dollars as a reward for anyone who would risk his or her own life to save Mr. Duckworth. Will Clark stepped up. He assembled a rescue vessel, paddled down angry and dangerous currents, and snatched Mr. J.L. Duckworth off of his roof. Miraculously, both of them made it to safety to the cheers of spectators. When offered that promised reward, Will Clark refused it, saying he was willing to risk his life not for money, but for his neighbor. Will Clark embodied the spirit of the people of North Carolina. Today, that spirit is still strong. Last September, another terrible storm struck western North Carolina. Hurricane Helene brought unprecedented devastation, heartbreaking loss of life, destruction of homes and businesses, and ruination of critical infrastructure. But it also revealed our state's character. Since the hurricane, I have met a remarkable number of heroes, people who stepped up for their neighbors. Black Mountain Police Chief Steve Parker and many other first responders, just like Will Clark a century before them, braved raging rivers to rescue their neighbors in distress. Terrell Evans, the owner of WPTL, Canton's local AM radio station, hardly left her post so she could broadcast essential information to the desperate people of Haywood County. Ashley Gallagher, a Watauga County small business owner, turned her indoor skate park into a distribution center for food, water, clothing, heaters, and building supplies for her neighbors. Amy Davis and her family provided tens of thousands of meals to hungry McDowell County neighbors from their country store and cafe in Old Fort. Ashley Cook and Freddie Carpenter hauled food, propane tanks, heaters, and anything else that the people in Avery County needed. And by the way, none of the individuals I met cared a whit about the party registration of the person they were helping. It never entered their minds. They just stepped up helping neighbors. Truly, I could stand here all day and list heroes who performed acts of courage and decency in ways large and small. My point is this: our people are good and they are ready to meet any challenge. They are North Carolina strong. North Carolina strong means supporting our neighbors in Western North Carolina the same way that they are supporting each other. We must fast track getting people back into their homes as quickly as possible. We must support small business owners so they can keep powering our economy for the decades to come. And we must rebuild water systems, roads, bridges, and dams so they are resilient and can withstand future natural disasters. That's why each of my first 6 executive orders cut through red tape to help people rebuild quicker. This past Tuesday, I met Miss Grooms in McDowell County. She had lost everything to the floods. Now, as she rebuilds, she's living in a temporary home on her own property so she can be safe and warm. We have so much more work to do, and I am committed to doing it arm in arm with our friends in Western North Carolina for as long as it takes. North Carolina Strong means economic opportunity for everyone, because where you come from should never limit how far you can go. That's the promise of North Carolina. Every North Carolinian should have a fair shot at prosperity, to start a small business or get a good-paying job everywhere in our state, including small-town North Carolina. So we must create more good-paying jobs, cut taxes for working people, strengthen our workforce, and invest in broadband, roads and railroads, ports and airports to keep North Carolina moving. North Carolina Strong means opening the doors of opportunity to every child. There is no better investment in our future than providing excellent pre-K so that every child starts kindergarten healthy and ready to learn. We have to be smart about how we teach reading and how to utilize our most effective educators. But as long as North Carolina ranks 48th in the country in per pupil investment, our public school students will be denied the sound basic education that our state constitution guarantees them. To recruit and retain the best, we must provide our public school teachers and staff real pay raises. Our community colleges and universities are among the best in the nation. We must keep them that way and continue to innovate to meet students' needs in a rapidly changing world. But we also must recognize that while college is right for many people, it's not right for every person. And someone should not have to go to college to provide for his or her family. So we must expand career and technical education and apprenticeship programs. North Carolina Strong means keeping people safe. No one should worry when their kids are at school or at play, or whether their loved ones are safe when they are at work or at worship. That's why we need more well-trained law enforcement officers in our neighborhoods keeping our families safe. And we must keep up our fight against the fentanyl crisis to protect families from the heartbreak of overdose. Too many people are dying. So we must smash drug trafficking rings peddling this poison. We must also reduce stigma so that more people seek treatment. And I'm grateful to Anna, our First Lady, for embracing people suffering from the chronic diseases of substance use disorder and mental illness. North Carolina Strong also means working together across our differences to get things done. And so to the members of the General Assembly, I say, let's work together. We have real problems to solve, and we do not have time to settle petty political scores or fight divisive culture wars. I want to stand with you as we fight for our people, not with each other. No party has all the answers. Good ideas do not come with party labels. When we work together, we are stronger, and there is no limit to what we can accomplish for the good of the people of this state. How do I know that? Because as North Carolinians, we have done it before. North Carolina was not always what it is today. In the late 1950s, we were one of the poorest states in this country. Our predecessors did not just accept that reality. No, they got to work, formed a robust community college system, built roads to connect the furthest reaches of our state, knocked down the hateful walls of racial segregation, raised teacher pay and standards for our students, built a statewide network for data and voice communications, the first in the country, and diversified this economy to include pharmaceuticals and biotech, finance and film, tourism and IT, clean energy and aeronautics, and more, in addition to the traditional sectors of agriculture and manufacturing. Our predecessors wanted more for our state and our people, and they collaborated and innovated. And by the way, there's more than enough credit to go around to both parties. It was Republican Governor Jim Holshouser, working with a Democratic General Assembly, who made North Carolina the first state in the South to offer kindergarten to every child. It was Democratic Governor Roy Cooper, working with a Republican General Assembly, who provided insurance coverage to 600,000 of our neighbors, improving their health and strengthening our health care system. And it was a unanimous, bipartisan General Assembly that worked with me as Attorney General to enact the STOP Act to combat opioid addiction, the Safe Child Act to protect kids from abuse, and the Survivor Act to clear the nation's largest backlog of untested rape kits. We have worked across the aisle together for the good of our people before. Let's do it again. My fellow North Carolinians, you have bestowed on me a great honor and a great responsibility. And whether or not I earned your vote in the past election, I am committed to earning your trust by working hard for you every day as your governor. With my faith guiding me and your spirit inspiring me, I stand before you today ready and eager for the work ahead. We must overcome the unprecedented storm that ravaged our state and the everyday struggles that impact our neighbors, and we will. After all, here in North Carolina, we have overcome fires and floods, poverty and plagues, recessions and racial segregation. When we see our neighbors stuck on a roof, we don't run, we build a boat and row. So friends, let us meet this moment and let's build. Let's build an economy that works for everyone and in every corner of this state. Let's build safe communities and strong schools. Let's rebuild Western North Carolina, and let's build a better and brighter future for our children together. We can do it, and we will do it because we are North Carolina strong. Thank you. May God bless you, and may God bless the state that we all love. Thank you.